Right, Iowa then. More than just a flyover state? Iowa. Say the word. What pops into your head? Corn, mostly I'd wager. Endless fields of the stuff, stretching out as far as the eye can see, maybe a pig or two. Perhaps you think of it as one of those places you fly over, on your way to somewhere more, well, somewhere else, that's what I thought, if I'm being honest. Another bit of the great American middle that just sort of is. A blank space on the map, filled with straight roads and a whole lot of agriculture. But then you stop. You actually get out of the car, or the plane if you're daft enough to fly into somewhere so resolutely down to earth. And you look around, really look, and a funny thing happens. Iowa, it turns out, has a secret. It's not shouting about it, mind you. It's far too polite for that. It's the charm of its small towns. These places, they're dotted all over the state, like little buttons on a giant green cushion, each one with its own name. Right, let's talk about the scenery, because yes, there is corn, an awful lot of it, as previously established, acres and acres. In summer, it's a vibrant green, then it turns to gold. It rustles in the wind, it does its corny thing. But that's not the whole story, not by a long chalk. Iowa isn't flat as a pancake, despite what you might have heard from some misinformed bloke down the pub. It has curves, this place. The land rolls, gently, mind you. No dramatic mountains to make you gasp, but lovely, undulating hills. They stretch on, a patchwork of fields, green, gold, brown depending on the season, little clumps of trees huddled together, forming dark green islands in a sea of crops. It's surprisingly easy on the eye, peaceful even. You can drive for miles and just watch the landscape slowly change. It's quite hypnotic in its own quiet way. And the sky, good heavens, the sky in Iowa, it's enormous. It goes on forever, because there aren't any pesky skyscrapers in the way. These small Iowa towns, they weren't just plonked down yesterday. Many of them have a fair bit of history under their belts. You can feel it when you wander around. It's in the old brick buildings, the ones that line Main Street. Some of them have dates carved into their facades, 1888, 1902. Imagine the things those walls have seen. The comings and goings, the hopes and dreams of generations. Lots of towns have little local museums, sometimes just a room or two, run by enthusiastic volunteers. They're often crammed with fascinating bits and bobs, old farming tools you can't quite identify, faded photographs of stern-looking people in stiff collars, school report cards from 100 years ago, letters written by soldiers. It's a real glimpse into a different world, a tougher world in many ways, but one with a strong sense of purpose. You'll find historical markers dotted about too, telling you about the first settlers, or a significant event that happened right there on that spot. Every proper small Iowa town has one, Main Street, or sometimes it's High Street, or even just the square. It's the absolute epicenter, the artery through which the town's lifeblood flows. It might not be very long, perhaps just a few blocks, but it's packed with character. The buildings are often two-story, brick mostly, with interesting old shop fronts, some carefully restored, others showing their age with a certain dignity. You'll find the essentials here. The post office, naturally, where the postmaster probably knows everyone by name, and their dog's name too. There's usually a bank, a hardware shop smelling of metal and fertilizer, maybe a little grocery store, though the big supermarkets have taken their toll, a pharmacy with a friendly chemist, and almost certainly a cafe or a diner, the sort of place that serves coffee all day long. And pie. Definitely pie. People don't just rush along Main Street, they stroll. They stop and chat on the pavement in the doorway of a shop. They catch up on the local news. Who's had a baby? Whose son is off to college? Section 5. Local blokes and friendly folk stories from the heartland. The best way to get to know a place, talk to the people. And in small-town Iowa, people are generally happy to talk. They're not in a tearing hurry. They've got time for a stranger, especially one with a funny accent like yours truly. You just have to be willing to listen. And believe me, they've got stories to tell about their lives, their town, the price of corn, you name it. I remember chatting to a farmer, leaning on a fence post. He must have been in his 70s, weather-beaten face, hands like gnarled oak. He talked about the changes he'd seen, how farming had gone from horses to massive machines, how the town had shrunk a bit, but he wouldn't live anywhere else. This is home, he said simply, and you could see it in his eyes, a deep connection to the land, to his community. Then there was the lady in the bakery, in a little town called Pella, I think it was. famous for its Dutch heritage. She was bustling about, covered in a light dusting of flour, serving up Dutch letters, these S-shaped pastries. She had a smile for everyone. Told me about the annual Tulip Time Festival, how the whole town gets involved. Section 6. Sticking together. The magic of a small-town community. One thing you notice pretty quickly in these Iowa towns, people look out for each other. It's not just a cliché, it's a genuine, dyed-in-the-wool way of life. If someone's going through a tough time, if there's an illness in the family or a job loss, the community rallies round, meals appear on doorsteps, offers of help come flooding in, people mow lawns, drive kids to school, whatever's needed, no fuss, no fanfare, just quiet support. They have all sorts of community events. Summer festivals are a big deal, with parades down Main Street, kids on decorated bicycles, the local fire engine, lights flashing, barbecues in the park, three-legged races, pie-eating contests. The whole town turns out. It's a chance to catch up, to celebrate together, to reinforce those bonds that tie them all. It's wonderfully old-fashioned, in the best possible way. Church plays a big role in many of these communities too, not just for Sunday services, but as a social hub. Potluck suppers are legendary. Everyone brings a dish, casseroles, salads, mountains of fried chicken, and desserts. Section 7. The joy of slow-taking life at a gentler gallop. Life in small-town Iowa moves at a different pace. It's not a crawl, mind you. Things still get done. But there isn't that frantic, relentless urgency you find elsewhere. People aren't constantly checking their phones, or rushing from one appointment to the next. They take their time, they breathe. They actually seem to enjoy the simple act of living. It's quite a revelation if you're used to the rat race. You see it in the way people interact. Conversations aren't rushed. Shopkeepers will happily chat for 10 minutes, even if you're only buying a newspaper. Neighbors stop for a yarn over the garden fence. There's time for pleasantries. Time to ask how someone's doing, and actually listen to the answer. It's a more human pace, less transactional, more relational. It's rather civilized when you think about it. Sunday afternoons are particularly noticeable. A sort of contented hush falls over the town. People might be at home with their families, or enjoying a leisurely stroll in the park. Section 8. Tucking in. Finding Iowa's tastiest treats and hidden nooks. Now let's talk about food, because exploring makes a chap hungry. And Iowa, it turns out, has some rather delicious offerings. Beyond the obvious corn, of course, though even the corn, fresh from the field, sweet and juicy, is a revelation. But these small towns are dotted with little culinary gems. You just have to know where to look, or more accurately, who to ask. The locals always know the best spots. Diners are a staple. Proper old-school diners, with counter seating and vinyl booths, serving up hearty breakfasts all day long, eggs, bacon, pancakes, and coffee that could strip paint, but in a good way. Lunch might be a hot beef sandwich or a patty melt. And always there's pie. Apple pie, cherry pie, rhubarb pie, usually homemade with a flaky crust, served with a dollop of ice cream. It's comfort food at its finest. Then there's the pork tenderloin sandwich. This is a big deal in Iowa. Capital B, capital D. It's a massive piece of breaded pork, fried until golden, served in a bun that's comically too small for it. Section 9. So long Iowa for now. A little slice of goodness. Well, there you have it. A little wander through the heart of Iowa. Not quite what you expected, perhaps? It certainly surprised me, in the best possible way. It's easy to dismiss these small towns, to think they're all the same, or that they're somehow less exciting than the big, noisy cities. But that would be missing the point entirely. There's a different kind of excitement here, a quieter, more profound sort of satisfaction. It's in the genuine warmth of the people, the way they welcome you with open arms and an open heart. It's in the deep sense of community, the feeling that you're part of something real, something that matters. It's in the slower pace of life, the chance to actually stop and smell the roses, or the corn as the case may be. It's a reminder of a simpler way of being, one that perhaps we've lost sight of in our mad dash for what exactly? These towns are like little pockets of sanity in an increasingly chaotic world. They're not perfect, of course, nowhere is, but they have something incredibly precious, a sense of identity, a connection to their past, and a quiet hope for their future. They are, in their own unassuming way, the backbone of a nation.